Yes.
What's up, buddy?
How are you doing, man? I'm so excited to have you on here.
Thank you, man. I'm awesome.
Man. I'm glad we got another bald brother on here. Taco Fall was on here. And
Yeah, I love him, man.
He's making fun of my bald head, and I had to call him out while I was waiting on you. So, your timing came like so perfect as usual. But, yo, it's fight weekend, man. Like, first of all, congratulations. This is something that America has needed. How were you guys able to pull this off? Like, that's the number one question. As an NBA player, I want to know.
I'm tired. Let me start there. I'm tired. But, I knew we would be first. It wasn't a thing about, oh, we have to be first or any of this. I knew we would be. I knew that this is what we do. We solve problems and we get things done, and we're not afraid to spend the money, man. It's expensive. Mm-hmm. If you want to, do this, do it safe. First of all, you don't have a live gate. I don't know how many of these sports are willing to go without a live gate. And I was on with Kellerman and Stephen A. earlier, and the girl that was moderating for them said, well, the NFL, only 15% of their revenues is the gate. Yeah, the NFL. But the team owners themselves, I mean, it's a big deal for team owners to lose the gates. Big deal for the NBA to lose the gates, the team owners. You have to be willing to lose some money and spend some money.
Yeah, and you're talking about concessions, you're talking about merchandise, you're talking about everything that happens when they come through those gates. So you're right, it is expensive. You guys went through and you guys got, what was the number? You guys got a couple thousand tests. Did anybody test positive in that kind of process of trying to get everyone in?
Everybody's ready to go, man. We just did the face-offs about an hour ago, and everybody's good to go.
Well, awesome. Okay, so the fight's on Saturday. There's not much going on right now. Are you expecting a really, really high pay-per-view number? Are you expecting this to reach next level stuff? You've seen what's going on with the Jordan documentary. People are just starved for content, and you were the first live sports event going on in the United States in months.
This thing's trending off the charts, and not just here in the United States, in Canada, in Australia, and other parts of the world. The pre-buys for this thing right now are bigger than any of the events we've done in the last couple of years, except for, a Conor McGregor event.
Yeah.
The only thing that's trending higher than right now is a Conor McGregor fight.
Oh, well, speaking of Conor, Conor's been having some conversations. He's been kind of chirping some things up. He even talked about, I don't want to say a possible fight, but I'm just saying him and what's his name? I've been going at it a little bit online, and to me, it's been hilarious watching these guys kind of battle a little bit. You have Dominick Cruz who's facing Henry. Dominick hasn't had a fight in 3.5 years, right? So are you expecting him to possibly retire if this doesn't go the way he wants? You think this could possibly be his last fight going into the ring?
I don't know. That's tough to say. You got to see how the fight plays out. Listen, if he goes in and beats Dominick Cruz, if he goes in and beats Henry Cejudo, it's a big deal. If Cruz beats Cejudo, it is a big deal. It's a massive upset. And, Cruz is looked at as one of the best in the world, and the best ever in that weight division. So, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. Retirement will depend on how – if he gets absolutely dominated in this fight, maybe he'll look at retirement.
Maybe that's the time. Look, so give me one. Obviously, this is an amazing card. You look at it top to bottom. There are names. There are great fights. There are great matchups. Which is one that you feel like people should be talking about a little bit more? Like one that you feel, obviously the main event, but what is one that you're like, hey, people should really check this fight out?
Yeah, obviously the fight to talk about is the main event. The main event is the fight to talk about. I expect that fight to be unbelievable, and I think it'll be one of the best fights of the year.
Okay.
Cejudo Cruz, obviously the co-main event, great fight. Ngannou versus Rozenstruik. Two massive heavyweights with knockout power. These guys finish people. That fight should be incredible. Jeremy Stephens versus Calvin Kattar.
Okay.
If Ferguson versus Gaethje wasn't on the card, I would say that would be the fight of the night.
Okay.
So,
okay.
There's so many good cards. Good.
No, the entire card is amazing. Well, look, Greg Hardy is on this card. you know, one of the things, like when you see athletes kind of crossing over and doing different things and trying, you know, to get into the UFC, has he been as successful? Has he surprised you with his success? Look, he's on this. This is a big event for him to be on. Is he doing better than you thought he might do, or has he surprised you at all?
100%. I mean, he's proven himself that he belongs here, and you know, if he can beat De Castro Saturday night,
yeah,
very big deal.
Very big deal
for him.
Yeah, so it's a big fight. So one thing, I'm doing my research again. Donald Cerrone said that he didn't really feel like he gave his best against Conor. He didn't really show up. What do you think about that statement? Because Stephen A. Smith, you know, you guys kind of got into it. Stephen A. was chirping and you were chirping a little bit, which you know, it's all love and all fun. But then he just recently came out, Donald the Cowboy said that, hey, I don't really feel like I showed up the way I should have. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that Conor McGregor looked incredible that night. I mean that's the answer to that question. And the beautiful thing about a guy like Cowboy Cerrone is he's always willing to fight. He's turning right around quickly. He's taking on Anthony Pettis, and he has the chance to you know, not necessarily avenge the loss to Conor, but at least come out and put on a good showing. And you know, beating Anthony Pettis is a big win.
Yeah, that would be a big win. You know, I have so many things that I want to ask you. There's so many things that, you know, we've been going back and forth when I'm looking at my list. The person I want to talk about is when you see Conor McGregor versus Oscar De La Hoya and that little chirping, we know how much you love Oscar. Look at the look on your face. So there were certain questions when people were, I was like, hey, what are some good questions that the people would want to know from Dana? And they were like, well, you know, this one might get a little funny. I was like, guys, don't set me up. Don't set me up with this one.
First of all, Oscar De La Hoya is like 50 years old, okay? He's like 48 or 49 years old.
Yeah.
And what that means to me, you know that me and Oscar used to be cool.
Yeah.
The beef with me and Oscar is that I used to promote his fights and say, hey, Oscar's got a good fight on tonight, you know, da-da-da. We do McGregor versus Mayweather, and he tells people not to watch it. It's a disgrace to boxing. But wait a minute. So Mayweather versus McGregor is a disgrace to boxing, but you versus McGregor isn't? What it tells me is when almost 50-year-old Oscar De La Hoya wants to fight Conor McGregor, it means he's broke.
he wants some money. Oh, okay. So this is not motivated based off of actual content and what he believes is good for boxing and sport. This is purely financial.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay. So look, I'm okay with legitimate beefs. I'm not into these make believes, but you just believe that his motives for this have nothing to do with, you know, the betterment of boxing or UFC. This is purely about Oscar. He's just trying to chime in to get more out of Oscar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what his deal is, but to me it sounds like he needs some money.